Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you people doing? Back again with another video. So today I kind of want to talk more about the Travis Scott incident that happened at the Astroworld Festival in Houston, because as you people know, 8 people were dead, and this is a very tragic event that happened. It's like nobody could have ever thought that something like this would happen, but unfortunately, this happened, and this whole thing has just been an absolute, just an absolute tragedy and just a big mess overall. But my biggest thing about this whole thing is how Travis Scott is going to handle this thing going forward. Because as you people know, as a guy that enjoys listening to Travis Scott, I do think that it would be fair for Travis Scott to pay to like visit the victims' families that right now are dealing with grief. Because in my opinion, that's the best way that I think Travis Scott can can make the most out of this situation. Because obviously Travis Scott, I don't know why he didn't stop the concert, because apparently people in the crowd were trying to get Travis Scott's attention to tell him to, stop the concert. And apparently Travis Scott was also warned by the Houston PD that something might happen, but he decided to continue with the concert. And, this whole thing has just been a big mess. And right now, it seems like that Travis Scott right now is kind of, not saying anything. Well, he did say something, but I think he deleted it after that. So, and he released a statement on Twitter. But apparently some people, are still, not accepting his apology, what happened. And, what I think Travis Scott should just do, like I said before, is pay, the 8 people's families a visit, the 8 victims' families a visit, and, pay for their funeral expenses, like, because that's what I think Travis Scott could do as a way for him to, show solidarity with the families, because people don't realize how precious human life is, whether you're famous or not. Human life is very precious, and, stuff like this should never, ever happen at a festival. And apparently, when Travis Scott was performing, there was a fan that was, I think, being treated by medical staff on the floor on the floor of the concert. And apparently, there's also a video footage going around of Travis Scott a couple of years ago, telling stopping a concert because some fan stole his shoes. But this time Travis Scott apparently didn't stop the concert, because when there was a fan that was, being treated by medical staff on the floor, Travis Scott, just looked at it and just brushed and appeared to brush it off to the side. And, that's right there when I think Travis Scott should have stopped the concert. Because the question right now is, did Travis Scott see the writing on the wall entirely about, what was going to be about the outcome of the concert? Because, he was warned by the Houston Police Department, and, and you take into consideration the fan right there that was, that collapsed on the floor. Then the question right now is, why didn't Travis Scott stop the concert there? And, I don't know why the concert continued, because obviously, people, and stuff like this, I think people should show regard for human life. And apparently the concert just kept going and going. And there's also a story about how some person, at the concert, literally was going around, just stabbing people in the neck with a with what was like a needle injector or something. So I don't know what kind of crazy psychopath would do stuff like that, but let's just say I hope that the freaking psychopath that literally that was going around stabbing people in the neck with with the injector needle gets caught, because that stuff is just really just absolutely ridiculous. It's sickening, and it's really uncalled for. Like, I don't know who the heck would do some horrific stuff like this, dude, but literally, like, I just believe that the whole concert from the beginning was completely flawed. Because I think that the biggest my biggest takeaway from this concert, or from this tragedy, was that, when Travis Scott said that more people that don't have tickets can show up, that's what I think should have been a red flag right there. And the question also is that, was Travis Scott prepared to handle performing in front of 50,000 people that are big fans of him? And I also believe that, if Travis Scott did see the writing on the wall, then I don't think the concert should have taken place at all. And, apparently because of that, because Travis Scott didn't, like I said before, he didn't stop the concert when a fan was being treated by medical staff on the floor. So obviously, I just think that going forward right now, Travis Scott just needs to, I do think he should bear responsibility for what happened, but at the same time, does he deserve to be blamed entirely or no? Because you have to look at it from multiple angles, because he had an earpiece on, and he was performing in front of thousands of people and music blaring at once. So that's one thing you can take into consideration. But at the same time, I obviously hope that Travis Scott isn't going to be entirely silent on this matter, because it's like those 8 people that died, they were also fans of him. So, I personally believe that Travis Scott just needs to do what I said. That's, in my opinion, what would be the best outcome of this situation. And, just making the most out of a really bad situation is just, paying the victims' families a visit and, also paying for their funeral expenses. That's what I personally would do if I was Travis Scott. And also at the concert, apparently there was people that was jumping on top of an ambulance for some stupid reason. When an ambulance was trying to, go there to help out somebody that was actively, that was on the floor, and people still were jumping on top of an ambulance. So I don't know what the heck this entire thing was about, but that jumping on top of an ambulance also made zero freaking sense, man. And this whole thing is just a big just turned into a big massive tragedy over the weekend. And I don't think Travis Scott's career is done, because I've been seeing people saying that Travis Scott's career is over, this and that, but look, his career is not over. Because now the biggest thing that I'm trying to figure out about this is that which venue is going to be willing to host Travis Scott after this incident. Because one thing I'm also taking here into view is like which venue is going to be willing to host Travis Scott, especially after this type of incident that happened in Houston. And also, if Travis Scott, in my opinion, like if I was Travis Scott and the police were telling me that the concert needs to be canceled because there's something that might happen, then obviously, or something is happening, then I would just simply comply and say, okay, and tell my team that the concert needs to be canceled. But that didn't happen, and obviously that's where I think Travis Scott kind of made a very big mistake, and obviously, man, I really don't know what else to say about this entire thing. I just believe that, in concerts, in situations, stuff like this, people need to, people don't realize how precious human life is, because, at concerts, stampedes rarely happen now. I think that at one of his concerts before, a stampede like this similarly did happen. Well, I'm not 100% sure, though, based on what the research I was doing. But right now, this whole thing just goes to show you, man, that at concerts, you always want to be aware of your surroundings and just make sure that, if you see something suspicious, then just either report it. Well, it might be easy for me to say, but if you see somebody acting very suspicious at the concert, like some crazy dude, like literally going around the crowd, just freaking stabbing people in the neck with an injector, then obviously you need to say something, So this is what I mean when I say, you need to be aware of all your surroundings at a concert. You know what they say: if you see something, say something. And like I said before, they still haven't tracked down the crazy person that was going around at the concert, doing that type of horrific stuff by just injecting people and all that stuff. And I think a security guard also got stabbed in the neck with a needle injector. So this whole thing was just a big mess, and I really don't know what else to say about this entire thing. So let me know, what do people think about this in the comment section below? Like, comment, subscribe, and peace, y'all.